Hello, thank you, welcome back. Bienvenue. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Guten Tag. So, how's it all going? Episode 6. And you may have noticed no sling. This is. I saw the consultant yesterday, and he basically said I can wean out of the sling now, which means if I'm out in public, I've got to be wearing the sling. If I'm doing anything vaguely manual, I need to be wearing the sling to stop me from trying to overuse it and do things with it, because it's still healing. I had a rotator cuff tear. I don't know whether I explained that before. But it just takes time to heal. So yeah, but the aim is within 2 weeks I'll be back driving, hopefully, because that's my plan. I'm going to return to work in 2 weeks, which is exciting. I'm quite looking forward to it. Yeah, and it feels really positive. So still, I mean, it doesn't really hurt. It's uncomfortable, but it's fine. I still don't sleep very well, which is always a pain in the ass, because I don't know, I'm really starting to understand how why they use sleep deprivation as a form of torture. Yeah, so but it's good, you know. It's pretty rad at the moment. It feels like it's making progress. I can do more stuff with it. I didn't realise cutting things up like food is really bad for it. So I'll do less of that. Don't tell him. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I had my hospital appointment yesterday, so I walked to the hospital for it. It took me a little longer than expected. It's 4.5 hours of moving time. Yeah, it was very pretty though. I'll throw a couple of pictures up now. But yeah, it was lovely. It's like 13 miles of wandering through fields to get to Bath, and yeah, it was very pleasant. So yeah, it's nice to be outside. My solar panel is now fully charged, so I should have worn sunscreen. Wear sunscreen, kids. That's the secret to life. Yeah, so that's basically that, health-wise. Because it's been feeling more comfortable, I've been practicing drums more. Obviously, I can play from this position here. I've been playing along to a click, which I haven't done for years. And it's very good, because it's very. A click is. It doesn't deviate. You got to stay on it. If you pull it around, it doesn't work. So yeah, and I've been working on some old school Tower of Power type David Garibaldi-esque grooves, which is like they're a soul band. They started in about 1968. Massive horn section. One of my favourite bands of all time. I think my friend Marie introduced me to a song by them called Squib Cakes, which I absolutely just blew my mind and took me on a path. But yeah, it's great, because it's all sort of linear funk grooves, which probably means fuck all to all of you. But yeah, anyone who plays drums or music out there may get talking about. I don't know. But yeah, it's challenging, and so I can't really do it. I can do it very slowly. Can't get it anywhere near speed yet. So, but it's getting there. It's really good. So, and I went to the cinema for the first time in over 2 years, which was, I saw Suicide Squad, which was surprisingly good. I'm not going to lie, I laughed a lot in it. So, but it was nice to go to the cinema. I went with my youngest. We just watched it together. It was really good. It was really nice. The film's hilarious. If you get a chance to watch it, go and watch it. I mean, it's a mixture of like Guardians of the Galaxy, because obviously James Gunn directed it. So it's a mixture of Guardians of the Galaxy crossed with Deadpool I guess it's probably the best way of describing it, because it's definitely 18 or R-rated. I think it's 15 here, but it's definitely blood, gory, sweary. But yeah, it's good. Really, really, really worth the watch. Surprisingly funny. And yeah, it's interestingly how they put it together is really good. It works an absolute treat. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it was weird going to the cinema. The cinema's like super cheap now. I think they're trying to get people back in, but it's like, I don't know. Used to go like a family of 4. It would cost us it cost us like 50 odd quid. I remember first when someone said that's how much cinemas cost. With sweet, with like drinks and stuff. It was just like, pardon, but like the local cinema to us we went to, it's £3.50 a person at the moment, which is mental. I mean, it's like really cheap, which I guess it's just how they're going to get bums back on seats in cinemas. But yeah, it's cool. It was really good. It was nice to be out and watching a film. Yeah, I haven't got COVID yet, so I haven't been pinged yet, so that's good. Yeah, so that's been awesome. The world of mountain biking has been rolling on quite nicely. I am still trying to complete YouTube. Watching pretty much everything I can from GMBN through to just everything. I've ended up down some dark holes. I found myself at one point watching what was it? It was People Who Died Inside compilation number 72 or something. So I have no idea why I'm watching this shit. So hence why I think I walked into Bath yesterday for my appointment, because I knew it was going to take a bit more time. But yeah, there is a world of YouTube out there. It's like a rabbit hole. You're like Alice tumbling down it. So yeah, but yeah, exciting times moving towards the weekend, because the content's going to get better. Dialled's back. So if you don't know what Dialled is, there's a suspension company called Fox, the Foxtail suspension company, the Foxhead and Foxtail. I think they were brothers originally, the Fox brothers, and they separated out, and one of them has Fox suspension, which is a tail on the logo, and the other one is just a Fox head, and that is the clothing, protection, that sort of apparel. I don't know how you say that word. That sort of stuff. But anyway, so Dialled's back, and it's for the Fox suspension. And you get a guy called Geordie Coates, I think it is, who's he is the suspension guru of all times. And they basically, because they follow the World Cup circuit, they go around and they have a stand where basically they do services, setups, and all those sorts of stuff for Fox riders. It's a really good little series. So they do one for each World Cup. So Maribor's happening this weekend over in Slovenia, I think Maribor is. I don't know. I might need to fact check a lot of this one. But yeah, so it's all over there, kicking out. So the series is back on. You've got a nice bunch of people. It's always quite interesting, quite entertaining. And it's really interesting watching the riders and ah over what's going on with their suspension. It always makes me kind of chuckle, because it's a funny one. It's like one click here, one click there, and I often wonder whether it's just a complete and utter placebo sometimes. I think actually they know what they need to be doing, and they're literally just giving them a little nudge. Like, oh yeah, we've done this. It should be absolutely amazing now, and then they just ride it, and they do well. I don't know. But yeah, so that's back on as a series. They'll go all the way up to race days for Maribor, which is always great, and then you get Maribor over the weekend, which is on Red Bull TV, and that is just downhill women's, downhill men's, just absolutely fantastic racing, and it's super exciting. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. So what you find is like, so in the UK, we tend to follow what is commercial sort of sports like football. We love a bit of football over here. We're not particularly very good at football is the problem. But if you start, I mean, the Olympics has kind of shown this. If you look at what the general public would consider sort of fringe micro sports, or kind of like, you know, the outside, we're pretty good at these things. We've got golds in cross country mountain bike racing. We've got golds in BMX. We've got golds in swimming and diving. You know, all these sorts of things. We've got golds in BMX freestyle. Yeah, and it's just like, so if you watch the World Cup downhills, most people are probably unaware that we have one of the most successful female downhill racers of all times, called Rachel Atherton, who's just had a baby. Congratulations. And it's just, I remember chatting to my kids in the car once, and they were their friends as we were taking them to school, and they were saying, they were talking about how things don't, you know, like England aren't doing well or something. I can't remember what it was, but I remember, like, have you ever watched the downhill racing? Because, like, do you know, we're pretty good at that. We've got some great racers. So yeah, it's definitely worth a watch if you want to watch Welsh, Scottish, English, British riders doing well. You know, watch mountain biking. We've got some strong contenders. The other thing, Brendan Fairclough. Again, you probably don't know you might know what Rampage is, I guess. But that's another thing that's coming up. Red Bull Rampage. And Red Bull Rampage is set in Utah. And it is just basically, it's a free ride competition, and you go out, you build your trails, you build your lines from the top of this point all the way down to the bottom of it, and then you ride it. And there's a guy from the Surrey Hills called Brendan Fairclough, or Fairclough, I don't know. He's a really, again, really personable sort of guy. He's very pleasant and he's very good at riding. I mean, he's like a total all-rounder when it comes to bikes. And he's got another invite out there. I think he put in a sterling performance last time and flipped this canyon gap. It was just like absolutely mental. But yeah, it was just like, yeah. So that's happening, and he's got an invite, and barring any more extreme global pandemics, I guess he'll be off out there racing, which is good. So yeah, so there's a lot of interesting things going on in the world of mountain biking, and it's very exciting. So if I could recommend anything, if you like bikes and stuff like that, I'd get onto YouTube and check out the Fox Dialled channel. There's loads of back episodes as well from other races and things like that. They're all pretty interesting, so it's worth a watch. And definitely check Maribor World Cup out this weekend. It's going to be absolutely insane, and everyone's hungry for it, which is nice. So, and yeah, congratulations to Rachel Atherton again, who has had a baby. Although she has zero idea who the hell I am, and I think it's highly unlikely, unless it's like 4 a.m. and she's between feeds and can't sleep, she will be watching this. So yeah. Anyway, so that's basically it. Out of the thing, all good. Ready to go, do some more. Get back to biking, get back to full drum playing and having fun. So yeah, thanks for coming back. I'll see you again. Cheers.